Once you said you want to die on Mars. Why?
To be clear, I don't want to die on Mars. I mean, we're all going to die someday. Given the choice of dying on Earth or dying on Mars, I'd say, yeah, sure, I'll die on Mars. But it's not some kind of Mars death wish. And if I do die on Mars, I just don't want it to be on impact.
Everybody, listen carefully. The Martians are coming this way. We must evacuate the city. Take food and water and extra clothing with you.
You are no longer in control of your listening device.
Can't you see that you're at the mercy of every element of the universe?
Rick and Ryan will take you on a science fiction cinematic journey into the post-atomic space age.
I'm not going to cooperate with these monsters.
We found a flying saucer. Just a minute, ladies and gentlemen. I think something is happening.
A chronological deep dive into the past.
Holy cow.
Put on your magnetic boots.
Let's go.
And strap yourselves in for your ride with...
The Unidentified Flying Podcast.
Outrageous.
Welcome. This is Rick, and I'm here with my co-host Ryan for another episode of the Unidentified Flying Podcast.
That's right.
How are you? What's going on over there?
That's right.
What's the matter with you? Why can't you talk?
I'm trying out a new set of cybernetic teeth.
Cybernetic teeth?
Yes.
Okay.
The Wee Swash Woosh Wiggy Wiggy helps me. They're helping me with my sleep apnea in space. So they invented this appliance is cybernetic teeth. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see them. It looks like you're ready to go out and play hockey.
Or football, yeah. It's a pretty big thing, but what it's doing is it's stretching my skull so that eventually my air passage will be wider and I won't wake up screaming in the middle of the night because I don't think I'm breathing. I just hope I hope you can understand what I'm saying clearly.
I guess so. I mean...
I'm supposed to wear this.
Are you going to do the whole show like this?
I'm supposed to.
I don't think you can. This is...
The funny thing
no one wants to hear that.
It's when I collect spit in it and I sound like John Merrick, the Elephant Man.
Good Lord. You can speak.
I wanted to thank you, Rick, for being so kind to me.
I am not an animal!
That's actually dynamite, though. It really...
I know.
My God.
Okay.
That was the best John Merrick ever.
Okay, I'm going to take that out for a while. It's a little cumbersome. But I just wanted to let you all know that we are taking care of ourselves up here.
Anyway.
God, that scene gets me every time.
No, I love that movie. Everything about that movie.
It's a great movie.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful movie.
It's a great film.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just glad John Merrick did not turn out to be a scumbag human being like some other people who we used to feel sorry for. I'm looking at you, Helen Keller. Anyway. So
Really?
Yeah, but as far as I know, John Merrick's cool. Like, I don't think he was like, hey, man, I'm ugly, but God, I hate black people. I don't think he was like...
Yeah, but he wasn't... he wasn't... John Merrick, yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows what he thought?
Well, he could talk.
Yeah. No, I guess, he was a good guy. Yeah, he's a good guy.
Nowadays, you just have
human.
to Google people like, hey, did John Merrick ever say anything completely
bad?
racist?
Exactly.
Yep. I'm like, oh, crap.
Dang it. Even like Dr. Seuss, dang it. John Merrick, I bet you if he looked normally, he'd be like Mr. Rogers. He'd have like a kid's show or something.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Elephant Man with a kid's show? I think I'd watch that still.
I would.
Hello, let's talk about the ABCs.
Yeah.
I would watch that.
Yeah, see, I'm looking him up right now, and, I don't see anything bad.
No, he never said a...
Okay, good.
John Merrick never said a bad word about nobody.
Good for you, John Merrick.
We still have heroes.
It's nice to know we can still count on some people.
Anyway, the movie tonight. Let's talk about that.
So the movie tonight we're talking about is a film released in 1951 called Flight to Mars. Flight to Mars. Now, I thought it might be fun, Rick, since we're out here in space and we want to keep our minds sharp, and God knows watching movies all the time does not normally do that for one. And besides that, we probably just smoke pot / eat edibles and play video games. So our brains are probably kind of mushy most of the time. So what I thought we would do is have a small little school session. And we're going to learn a little bit about Mars. I'm going to just test you on some Mars knowledge, because we're going to be talking about the planet Mars tonight. Now, full disclosure, we have done a movie that took place on Mars before, and that was Rocket Ship XM, because they were accidentally wound up on Mars after trying to go to the moon.
Pardon me. I wonder if you could tell me how to get back on the expressway.
Hey, fuck your mama.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
However, since the movie was supposed to be about the moon, we're not going to count it, and we're going to let this one be our introduction to discussing more about the Red Planet. We will deal with Mars a lot
over the next
decade. But for now, let's just say,
yeah, you're right. This is the introduction of Mars.
Yeah.
And Mars has officially entered the picture.
Yeah, and this time not by accident. Yeah,
no, exactly, purposely.
This time they still crash land, but this time it was on purpose on Mars. Okay, so let me see what you think, Rick. Or let me see how much you know about our planetary neighbor.
If it's not about ghosts of Mars, then not much.
Tide is up. Time to stay alive.
I know. When was Mars discovered? Do you know, Rick?
No, I don't.
Actually, it was never discovered. You know why?
What do you mean? All right, why?
Because it's always been visible from Earth. So as long as there have been humans on our planet, they can see it. That's right. Mars is one of the brightest stars. Well, it's not a star, but it'll look like a star, and it's one of the brightest in the night sky. In fact, any given night, you can look up and see Mars, and it's been that way for tens of thousands of hundreds of thousands of years. So Mars has just always been there. Yay, right?
Yep. That's like when my friend pointed at a big pile of dirt, and he goes, "You see that pile of dirt over there?" And I said, "Yep." And he goes, "That dirt's some old dirt. You know how old it is?" And I said, "How old?" And he goes, "As old as the world."
Well, it's true. It's kind of true. So, all right, since Mars was already here, we already knew about Mars, and who's the one who
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Who gave it its name?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Is this just... Well, let's just... Dude, I don't know anything.
Okay.
This whole thing is just like, let's just see what Rick doesn't know.
You are correct, sir. Yes!
So we don't know the person's actual name.
Okay.
But it was named by the ancient Romans because Mars...
What's with all the trick questions?
Shut up. Mars was their god of war, and its reddish color is the same color as blood. So they named him Mars, after the god of war. Now, if you were Greek...
Well, that's cool.
You would say Ares, A-R-E-S, god of war. But Romans got there first, so that's why we call it Mars. Yeah? Cool?
You know what's also great about this podcast is now I do know that.
Yeah, exactly. So here's another one. In this one we've discussed before... Okay, on the episode with Rocket Ship XM, but how long does it take to get to Mars from Earth?
Oh, fuck, I should know this because I had to edit that podcast.
Yup.
I don't know.
7 or 8 months.
7 months. 7 months.
7 or 8 months, give or take. Mars is actually our second nearest planetary neighbor. Venus is closer. Venus would only take 4 months to reach. So, other than the moon, our two nearest neighbors are Venus and Mars. Neat, huh?
Cool.
Now, Mars is only half the size of Earth. So Earth is bigger than planet Mars. But this is... hold on. The Martian day is 37 minutes longer than ours. So
man, how's that?
You get it because it's how long it takes to revolve on its axis.
Man, that's an extra hour of hour-long television after the commercials are cut out.
That's just it's okay.
Hey, something wrong with his medulla oblongata.
Okay, so yeah, Mars is approximately 24 hours and 37 minutes long. That's how long their day is. Now, this you'll find interesting. I know you will. But 1 year on Mars is 687 days long. That makes it 1.9 Earth years. So not only...
Wait. Let me think about this again. Wait. What?
Yeah,
Say it again.
A Martian year is 687 days long. Earth's is 365 days, or 364.
Yeah, so it's almost like they're double 2 years. They're like 2 years to our one.
1.9 Earth years is the difference. So not only do you get a longer year on Mars, you get a slightly longer day.
Now, does that figure in those extra 37 minutes as well, Ryan?
No, because all that a year is judged on how long it takes to revolve around the sun.
Oh, so those are all okay. So the 37 extra minutes at the end of each day is figured into the equation of the whatever 600 blah 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 blah. Earth day. Okay, because that's important.
My brain hurts.
I mean, you do know that planets revolve around the sun.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm just making sure.
And they rotate on their own axis. You did pay some attention in science class, right?
A little.
It's just important to maintain this knowledge because, like a year from now, we're not even going to be allowed to know these things.
I know.
You know, can scientists actually determine the age of the Earth? Well, there's only one way to determine the age of the Earth, and that's if someone was there who saw it all happen, who revealed to us when that happened. And we have someone, and that is God, who created all things, who tells us he made everything in 6 days, made Adam on day 6, and then we have the genealogies that list when people were born and died. You can add up all those dates, you can come down to Abraham, and then to Jesus, the baby in the manger, and then to the present, and when you add it up, it comes to about 6,000 years.
You full of shit, and you need to quit.
Let's just preserve what we can for future generations of Elon Musk's sperm, because those are the people that are going to need to know this, are his little spermlets that he is going to send to Mars. Actual news story. Let me guess, you didn't hear that?
I'm in shock. I didn't hear that.
Yeah,
I was still processing it.
He's offered to send his frozen sperm to Mars to start a colony of little Elon Muskites. With or without Grimes' help. I don't know. Maybe she'll do the Grimes for Babies lullaby CD and send it along to them.
Sure. I'll offer up mine as well.
All right. No, because you're not genetically perfect like he is. Okay, so last question. And this one I'll ask you instead of just telling you. How cold is it on Mars? During the day...
Damn cold.
How cold is it during the day on Mars?
Really fucking cold.
Okay, that would be minus 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's during the day.
Yep.
At night, it gets down to minus 203 degrees Fahrenheit.
And that's really, really, really fucking cold.
That's why Matt Damon wanted to get back home so bad.
Fuck you, Mars. Oh, because it was going to get cold.
Now, let's move away from actual scientific fact, and let's move into movies, okay? So...
Are we going to talk about Flight to Mars?
Yeah, we'll get there. Just chill.
All right.
So, this isn't a movie, but... the very first work of science fiction set primarily on Mars was a novel called Across the Zodiac by Percy Gregg that was published in 1880. Okay?
Yeah.
So that's the first time Mars appeared in a piece of fiction as a place where characters were on it back in 1880.
Like as a planet?
Yeah. Well, we've always known it was a planet.
Yeah, but I mean, like, they never... So this is the first time it was kind of featured as a character in...
No, it was
sort of...
featured as a location in a work of fiction. Was across the Zodiac...
Did people go to it?
I don't know. I didn't read the book. I'm just telling you
No, but what
the
I'm
name
saying
of it
is, like, I mean, is it the first time Mars as a planet has been mentioned in literature, or is it just the first time it's been mentioned as a location? I don't know what you mean by location.
It's set on Mars.
As a planet.
The story is set on Mars.
Oh, I see. Absolutely. I get it. I get ya. See? It just use your words, and it comes out fine. I can get it.
This is one I skipped. Who do you think the first person was to view the planet Mars through a telescope? So even though we already knew about it for thousands of years, there was one specific person who was the first person to view it through an actual telescope.
Who do you Duck Dodgers?
It was not. It was Galileo in 1610.
I'm pretty sure it was Porky Pig and Duck Dodgers, dude. I'm sorry.
So
you're wrong on this one. I know what I'm talking about.
So here are a list of some movies that were set on Mars or had to do with Mars prior to our film Flight to Mars. Just to show you where this planet popped up in our pop culture. Okay? Now, the first movie to ever take place on Mars was in 1910. It was a short film, 4 minutes in length, and about a professor who uses some sort of anti-gravity powder to float from Earth to Mars, where he encounters...
fizzy lifting drinks.
Yeah, he encounters aggressive trees and a giant creature, and then the creature sends him back to Earth, but the powder spills, and the whole laboratory flies to the sky. That was a short.
Man, that sounds great.
8 years later, that short was sort of remade as also a trip to Mars, only this time the adventure travels to Mars in his ship of his own construction, and he finds the planet's inhabitants living harmoniously. So 2 short films called A Trip to Mars. Now, after those 2 shorts I just mentioned, Trip to Mars and A Trip to Mars. This is one of the first remakes. See, they were doing remakes even at the beginning.
It's true.
And reboots and
yeah, since day one.
So we also have in 1913 a film called A Message from Mars, directed by Wallace Waller. This is actually a feature film, and it was shot in Britain, and it is about a Martian who is sentenced to visit Earth to cure a selfish man. So it's kind of like
he's sentenced.
He commits some crime on Mars.
So you have to go and help some human.
Yeah, to cure him of being selfish.
That's his punishment.
Yeah, so it's kind of like It's a Wonderful Life or Christmas Carol.
For Martians,
but it's a Martian helping an Earthling. Okay, so that's from 1913. And believe it or not, all these are available on like YouTube and stuff. They're public domain by now. But that one was a feature. That was 69 minutes long. So finally Mars is starting to get the long form treatment it deserves. Next up, in 1924, was released a film called Alita, Queen of Mars. And this was made in the Soviet Union. It's an early example of Soviet science fiction. And this one is interesting to our conversation today because our film Flight to Mars is a loose remake of this film, Alita, Queen of Mars. Cool?
Yeah.
Okay, that too was a
I actually knew that.
I know. It was a feature film. It's about 113 minutes long. It was released in 1924. And it also is widely available. It's an interesting film, not a very exciting film, but if you care about the, history of science fiction,
of where this came from,
definitely check it out. Next up, we have a film called Just Imagine, released in 1930. And this is about a young man who's in love with a woman and must impress government officials in order to marry her. So to do this, he travels to Mars with his best friend, and they are accompanied by a stowaway. Again, this movie is available. It came out in 1930, and I believe it was one of the first science fiction films to be nominated for an Academy Award. It was nominated for Best Art Direction by Steven Gusson and Ralph Hamaras. Okay, so yes, there you go. The planet Mars played a part in the very first science fiction film to ever be nominated for an Oscar. Mars is growing up.
Yeah.
Now, guess what we have next? Because that was released in 1930. 20 years pass. 20 years before we get Mars again on the screen. Now, there were novels, there were short stories, all that stuff. But the next movie to take place on Mars was 1950's rocket ship XM, which we...
By accident.
Yeah, they landed by accident. And then a year later, we got Flight to Mars.
Finally!
So there you go. It's a little history of Martian cinema and Martian entertainment. He is part of Greek mythology, so... killing people and stuff because he's a god of war and he's colored blood. If you went outside it's kind of hard to see it from where we're at now, but back on Earth, did you ever go out and try to look for planets, look at constellations? You ever do that kind of thing, Rick? You interested in that?
Not really.
No?
I look outside every once in a while, but then I go back to watching Star Trek.
So you don't look up with a sense of wonder at where you are in the cosmos.
Well, yeah, that's why I watch Star Trek.
Yeah, but
you are a sad, strange little man, and you have my pity.
Okay, once again, I ain't gonna do it, but I'll watch you do it.
No. Whatever.
If you had a chance, okay, like Shatner, all right?
Yeah.
Let's say you had a chance. Jeff Bezos was like, hey, Rick, you want to go out in space? I'll shoot you out there and bring you back. Or
now.
Or I'll give you a 4K restoration of the short film we shot of William Shatner doing the same thing, and you can just stay home and watch it. You can choose either, and I'll give you $1 million no matter what you pick. Which are you choosing to do, Rick?
Does he narrate it in first person, to me?
No.
Does Shatner talk to me?
It's just the raw footage of them going up. If you've seen it, I've seen it. It's just a lot of yapping and talking. And so, what are you doing?
I'd go into space.
Okay, good. At least you'll do that. So you're not.
Yeah, of course.
You're not totally a set on the
but
sidelines.
If I look out, I see the stars. I see it's okay, it's there. It's cool.
Rick. Okay, so let's talk about what we all came here to talk about, and that's Flight to Mars. You ready?
Yeah.
Flight to Mars, released on November 11th, 1951. Directed by Leslie Selander. I think I'm pronouncing his name.
Yeah.
Right. Selander. Anyway, he directed over 130 movies. Mostly B westerns. Although he did this movie and he did a couple of other some crime films and stuff. He's mainly known for directing B westerns. He also, however, served as the assistant director on a few films, most notably The Thin Man, which was nominated for Best Picture and stars what's those two with their dog and they just solve crimes? I forget. Nick and Nora and their dog Asta. That's right. There's a whole series of Thin Man movies. They were really popular.
I wanted to do those and I never watched the Thin Man.
Same here. But the first one was nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah.
And Leslie Selander here served as the AD on that. He also served as the AD on Night at the Opera, which
oh shit,
yeah, Marx Brothers classic, which I haven't seen, but I'm planning on it.
Well, if you've seen Brain Donors, then you've seen
sure.
I mean, it's
no,
the original, but
I kind of forgot.
Brain Donors is exactly Night at the Opera, but it is Night at the Opera, and it's great. Although I prefer the Universal movies, but
sure,
that's a whole hardcore thing.
Flight to Mars was written by Arthur Strawn. Again, wrote a lot of B movies, most of which are unremarkable to me anyway, because I didn't recognize many of them. The ones I did recognize that I have seen are not that good. There is one of note that I kind of like, and it's a 1935 sort of medieval drama / crime film. It's marketed as horror, but it's not. But it stars Boris Karloff, and it's called The Black Room. It's just about this evil rich guy that the town wants to get rid of, and it, melodrama with moments of like, oh, I can kind of see why someone might mistake this for a horror film because they have some shadow on Karloff's face.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
And he's sinister.
Yeah. But there's a couple shots where he looks evil. Okay.
Yeah. Now, this film was produced by Walter Mirisch, and I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. If not, I deeply apologize to the man. I'm sure he's long gone. Oh my God, no, he's still alive. Shit! No, he was
Are you serious?
No,
there's no way.
Fairly successful producer. He has a few movies you might have heard of, Rick. Not just Flight to Mars, but he did a little movie. He produced a little movie called In the Heat of the Night with Sidney Poitier and Rod Steiger, which was a Best Picture winner. He also did the John Badham, Frank Langella Dracula, which I dig.
It's taken me a long time to get there.
You haven't watched it yet?
Oh, no. What, the Badham Dracula?
Yeah.
No, I have. What I mean is, I never liked it that much, and then I kind of like it over time. It's not that bad. The John Williams music's kind of outrageous, and it's very John Williams.
Yeah, but it's just something about it.
It's cool. No, I get it.
It's
the female vampire shit is pretty hot.
Yeah,
it's cool. It's got good vampire action at the end.
Yeah, it's not bad. He also produced a Charles Bronson classic, Mr. Majestic.
Yes.
Man, it's kind of John Wick, only instead of dogs, it's about melons.
Yeah.
You fuck with his melons, and he's gonna... then he did a movie called Midway with Henry Fonda and Charlton Heston, which you might have heard of. And he did Hawaii and the Hawaiians. That was a series. I believe some Oscar nominations in there. Also a pretty famous Western called Man of the West in 1958 with Gary Cooper, directed by Anthony Mann, which is considered one of the best Westerns of all time. Best Western. That's a hotel chain.
Best Western.
Now, I imagine the absolute nadir of his career was producing Bomba the Jungle Boy back in 1949, but hey, you gotta start somewhere. So anyway, he's had a pretty good...
Take a wager on what that movie's about.
Right. He had a pretty good career. Now as an executive producer, he did even better. He executive produced West Side Story, The Great Escape, The Children's Hour, The Magnificent Seven, Fiddler on the Roof, The Party, A Shot in the Dark, The Thomas Crown Affair, The Pink Panther, and a few other movies. So, damn, dude.
I knew I recognized his name because the problem is every time I kept seeing his name, I thought it said... I was like, I always thought it can't be Walter Murch, the sound guy.
Oh no,
because he. But now that you say it, I mean, I know his name from the Blake with the Pink Panther stuff. Yeah,
so as a producer and as an executive producer, dude had a pretty good track record. There's a few has a few Oscars on his shelf from that. So moving on next, as we explore the behind the scenes people here, it was the DP on this movie was Harry Newman. No, Harry Newman. I'm sure it's not pronounced any weirder just because it's one of those with the, instead of like Paul Newman, it's Neumann. Okay, so it was shot by Harry Newman, who shot a lot of these kind of movies. And if you know what I mean by these kind of movies, then you'll recognize The Wasp Woman, The Ape, The Maze, A Bullet for Joey, Mr. Wong Detective.
Anything that showed up in a pack of 50 on 4 discs.
He did. He has made an appearance on our show before because he was the cinematographer for Two Lost Worlds. So, yeah, he's pretty much stayed in the B realm and, did his duty. So, lastly, I want to talk about the composer who did the score for this. His name is Marlon Skiles. And he also, like our DP there, did a lot of these movies. He's responsible for the scores for, first of all, the Dead Reckoning with Humphrey Bogart. Might be his most high-profile movie. And then he did The Giant Claw, Queen of Outer Space, The Hypnotic Eye, The Strangler, The Maze, and a few other B movies. There's one from 1965 I kind of like called Space Probe Taurus. Yet he also did a nudie cutie called Europe in the Raw. So I don't. Yeah, then a bunch of westerns and Bomba the Jungle Boy type movies, which I'm sure are in no way, shape, or form racist. So, hey, that's our behind the camera people. Real quick look at the cast. We have got, I should mention too, this was distributed through Monogram Pictures, which I think we've discussed them before. They pretty much only did B movies of this caliber, of this ilk. And if you look them up, you've probably seen there's tons of movies with George Zucco and fucking Bela Lugosi and the Bowery Boys. And
they're very cheap. But what's interesting about Monogram Pictures, though, is that they changed their name to try and change their look, and as far as what people perceive them as, they became Allied Artists in 53, and then in 1979 they got sold to Lorimar. So if you think about it, this is a Lorimar.
Okay.
This is Lorimar Pictures.
Yeah.
This is the same company, and then later Lorimar would eventually be sold to Warner Brothers.
See?
So that's now, but we all remember Lorimar.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't they give us like Last Starfighter?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think so. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
So this is are you saying this is in the series of Last Starfighter?
Yes. I'm just saying that
no, it's not.
Nothing in this world is created in a vacuum, people. There's history to all of this. Like I just found out recently that we wouldn't have the Matrix for the first one if it wasn't for a technological discovery made on Howard the Duck, because of
that's insane.
But that was on another podcast, and I'm not going to steal their thunder. But I didn't know that. Did you know that? No, I don't think you did.
Well, give them credit. What podcast was it?
Okay, it's a podcast called Not a Bomb, where they revisit infamous movie bombs and then reevaluate them. And while discussing Howard the Duck, they brought up that the effect used to pull Howard on his couch through that apartment complex, because they kept seeing the strings while they were doing it. So these dudes invented this digital technology to remove strings, which even the Wachowskis admit helped them design the technology they used. And they were like, well, without that, what they discovered and did on Howard the Duck, we would not have been able to do the Matrix. So never, ever, ever discount the importance of a single person in history.
In history.
Napoleon's hemorrhoids.
Yeah.
We all know the world would be a different place if he hadn't had hemorrhoids that morning. And I'm not making this up.
Who was this?
Napoleon.
Oh.
I'm not
that
getting
sent him
there.
off.
Yeah, it's a long story, but just okay. It's in this book.
I didn't see the movie.
There's this book about how sometimes it's the tiniest little thing that triggers something that has...
Isn't that the butterfly effect?
It's not the butterfly effect. It's more just because this happened on this particular day, it led to this happening, and then this and it takes these things, and it's called Napoleon's hemorrhoids, and it's about it's a story involving Napoleon and hemorrhoids.
I get it.
And I'm not going to get into it now, but basically, if it wasn't for those hemorrhoids, the world would probably be a much different place today. But if you want to know, go Google that and look it up and read the damn book, because that's a whole different podcast. But what I'm saying is you never know where some of the stuff you love comes from. And,
exactly.
So don't be afraid to dip your toes in the past once in a while. Damn it.
That's right.
This movie stars Margaret Chapman as Alita. We already discussed where they got that name from. Now, she was in many B movies. Then she starred in The 7-Year Itch with Marilyn Monroe and had a little bit of career in some higher movies, or some bigger budgeted movies. And then she quit and did TV. What I found interesting about Marguerite Chapman is that she was reportedly set to play Old Rose in Titanic.
Yeah,
but
that's crazy.
Due to health reasons,
she was the initial choice.
Yeah. Next up in our cast, we have Cameron. I'll work for a 6-pack and a sandwich, Mitchell.
I have a lot to say about him, so I'll go there.
We also have Cameron Mitchell plays reporter Steve Abbott. We have Arthur Franz as Dr. Jim Barker. Virginia Houston as Carol Stafford. John Littell as Dr. Lane. Morris Ankrum as Icron, one of the Martians. Richard Gaines as Professor Jackson. Lucille Barkley as Terrace. And Robert Barat as Tillamar. And last but not least, another appearance from Rick's favorite actor, Tristram Coffin. Star of Lost Planet Airman. Has an uncredited role in this as a commentator.
Yeah, if you weren't going to say it, I was. I was going to throw it at you because it stuck out to me like a sore thumb when I
Tristram Coffin?
Credits.
The greatest name of all time.
Yeah, sure.
Tristram Coffin. Yeah. Well, damn.
Yeah.
So those are the people in front of the camera. We'll probably talk about them more as we go on. So let's find out a little bit about what we're watching today.
Or what we watched.
Oh, yeah, what we already watched.
What we're talking about today.
For centuries, science has studied Mars, the only planet where life may exist. Now the screen creates for you the fascinating, frightening spectacle of the first flight to Mars. Hurtling through the universe, rocketing toward terrifying dangers.
Good heavens, we're heading right into it. This could destroy us. We'll have to get out of it.
On toward Mars, with disaster threatening at every moment. Human emotions caught up in the terrific tension of the flight. Here is the suspense, the surprise, drama of the unknown. Flight to Mars.
We have been expecting you. You will come with us now.
Amazing underground Martian cities, a planet of wonders, both scientific and human, of exciting beauty.
Do you still object to my proposal?
To destroy these people and all the people on the world as well? Yes, I do.
Our planet is dying. If this ship ever leaves here, it may well be our last chance for survival.
You know the way we've constructed this thing? There's a good chance we might be able to bring back a couple of extra people. I didn't want to tell you until I was sure of it. But you're going back with it.
Tense, exciting adventure on a planet of forbidding danger. Starring Marguerite Chapman and Cameron Mitchell.
Long before it attacked, sent invaders, or needed women. Long before Douglas Quaid got his ass there to help them fight for the air. Long before Matt Damon and Don Cheadle became stranded. Mars was only a flickering red mystery drifting in the twinkling sea of stars. And the poets spoke of a girl with mousy hair who would spit in the eyes of fools because she was asked to focus on sailors Mars, fighting in the dance hall. Oh man, look at those cavemen go. What is it, Rick? It's the freakiest show.
The freakiest show.
And she wonders, Rick. She wonders, is there life on Mars? Well, hang on, because we're damn well gonna find out. Because in 1951, a brave group of scientists, accompanied by a renowned news reporter, embarked upon humankind's first planned expedition to the Red Planet. I say planned because the poor saps in rocket ship XM didn't plan on going there, but ended up there anyway. This time, it's for realsies. Naturally, once they reach there, some pesky meteorites wreck their ship. Forced to crash land, their ship hits a mountain and is immediately buried in an avalanche. Because, like God, nature is an asshole. Fearing they may be stranded there with no means of radioing for help, they soon discover some structures in the distance. Once there, they realize, whoa, holy shit, these look man-made, or Martian-made, or whatever. While trying to ascertain a way into the structures, they are greeted by a group of said Martians who invite them to stay in their vast underground city while they figure out if there's any way to save their ship. Now, these Martians are pretty advanced, living all cozy and harmoniously in their dope-looking subterranean metropolis. The Martians say they've been monitoring Earth's radio signals for years and have long wished to communicate with their nearest planetary neighbor. However, as advanced as they seem to be, they, for some reason, haven't invented a means to transmit radio signals out. They can receive but not send. Doesn't make sense, but okay. Because they also haven't invented space travel.
Yeah.
But they're cool, they're chill, and the stranded Earthlings are kind of digging it. However, unbeknownst to our heroes, Mars is governed by a greedy old, let's call him Martian Dick Cheney motherfucker, who plans on helping the Earth people rebuild their ship so that he and his followers can, steal it, fly it back to Earth, and conquer the human race because they've got resources we want. See, yeah. Mars is dying. They've done run out of an element called corium, and they need a new planet to inhabit. Not everyone on Mars agrees with Mad Martian Cheney. They secretly assist the Earthlings behind their overlord's back. Thrills and suspense transpire. So strap your asses in for the adventure of a lifetime when we take a flight to Mars. Please note, thrills, suspense, and adventure of a lifetime, not guaranteed.
I think there's a little bit.
What did you think about Flight to Mars, Rick?
So
a needle pulling thread.
The one thing I thought was interesting, kind of, was that it's kind of weird because it starts out with here's your crew, and the one nerdy scientist has a girlfriend, and you've got Cameron Mitchell, who is the former, he's a writer. He
was a Korean War correspondent.
Yeah. So he's covering this flight to Mars, but right away he's all into her. And it's just kind of interesting how they try to play this weird couple on the outs as they come into it, because the scientist and the couple are fighting, and it just becomes this weird. There's more about that than there is anything. It's fresh at first, but then it's kind of just bogs the movie down, I think. But what's crazy is that when they blast off, they kind of just skip over, okay, we're just going to get right into space.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's quick to the point.
One part that's kind of funny is that when they pass a meteor storm, it looks like a bunch of cheese balls everywhere.
Yeah.
And when he says something, though, he says something like, what is that? He goes, oh, that's such and such. On Earth, we would have called them shooting stars. There's meteor showers and whatever. And I thought it was funny. He says, any chance of us running into something like that? And I'm like, aren't you?
Yeah,
it's right there. Yeah. It's like, I would say so, because it's right outside your window.
I mean, granted, the way
and the scientist is like, well, it's possible.
Yeah.
It's because they're happening.
Yeah. No, it
anyway,
looks pretty silly.
It's happening.
Granted, you have to take into allowance that things in space are sometimes so big that if they're whizzing by you like that, they're going to maybe
be a long ways away.
They're going to be a long ways away, but look close.
I get it, but still, I mean, it's right. It's like I'm in a boat and I see a fucking shark out there.
Yeah.
And I say, hey, is there any sharks in this water? It's like, well, maybe. Well, yeah, because there's one right there. It makes no sense to me. Anyway, it's kind of like
it's like the moon. You go out at night and see the full moon. You're like, can't we just take a plane up to that and get, like, it's right there. It's huge.
It's right
there. But no, it takes
you
a week, which is so weird because it looks so big. You know what I mean? I'm just talking about perspective, man.
Of course.
So the love plot, then you got the asteroids that look like corn cheese puffs.
Yeah, cheese puffs. And when they crash on Mars, well, the funny thing is like the interplay with, like, you know, there's the woman who her boyfriend is the like he's the ship's pilot and like a scientist, because all these guys are scientists except for Cameron Mitchell.
Cameron Mitchell's there for the free food.
He's walking right up to her and being like, well, you know what? I think you're all right, and I don't need to see it through a test tube. Like, he's like pissed, showing his dick all over this other dude in front of him.
Instantaneous.
Yeah, but he's kind of making a move on her right there, and the dude's there, and what does he say? He just goes, yeah, he likes you. And it's like, what? Like, are you okay with this? Because Cameron Mitchell is kind of a smooth dude, and like,
astronauts are polyamorous, man. They don't. What else are they going to do up there?
What was funny to me is that first get into outer space, like the first report, like this girl. I mean, granted, she's kind of a twit.
Are you talking about Marguerite Chapman?
Yeah, the character who's the crew member who was played by Virginia Houston. Like, her character's kind of a twit. The way she's like torn between these two guys, which one guy is her old boyfriend who doesn't really give a shit, and then it's just kind of played out weird where then she's got the other guy who's making a play for her, and, you know, skip to the end, but like, you know, of course they like have a complete reversal where she's all of a sudden Goo in love, and all I'm thinking is, man, you know she's just playing you because she was just crying about it's like she's kind of a twit troublemaker a little.
How many years you been in love with him?
3.
How many tears do you think it'll take to wash out 3 years?
Go away, Steve.
I can't. I'm about to win a game for myself. You ever play solitaire? I've been playing it for a long time.
Please go.
But it gets tiresome. Just like some girls I know.
What do you mean?
You've been crying for exactly 1 hour and 17 minutes.
Well, nobody asked you to sit in on it.
No, it's the idiot in me.
Steve.
That gets tiresome, too.
Okay, so they crash. They're coming in and they crash because they can't have the landing gear, so they got to crash. But the funny thing is like they crash. Like, they don't land and skid into the mountain. They kind of crash, like, full stop, goosh, right into the mountain, and none of them are strapped in. They're all standing around as it's flying in, and, like, you're like, oh, man, they're all dead, you know? But, of course, none of them are hurt at all. One is kind of like, ooh, don't tell me we made it. You know, like, he's kind of out of it, you know? But that's it. But then they're like, oh, hey, you know, look over there. There's Martian towers and whatever. And then, Morris Anchorman comes out.
We have been expecting you.
Expecting us? You speak English?
For many years, we have picked up your radio broadcasts and deciphered them. Many of us have even learned to speak some of your languages. I am Ikron, president of our council which rules this planet.
We are happy to meet you and honored by the presence of your eminence. You say you pick up our broadcasts?
Yes, your first 2 cylinders arrived back on Earth safely. Since then, they have lost contact with you, and there is a worldwide vigil awaiting news of your party.
Can we get through to them?
No. Although for years we have been able to receive broadcasts, we are still unable to send them. Our best efforts have been reported by Earthmen only as faint signals coming from Mars. You will come with us now.
And the right away the woman's like, "Where's your kitchen?" and they're like, "Oh, we don't have kitchens. We have what we call the food laboratory." And anything just comes up to you automatically. And she's like, "Mars, I love you." You know, that kind of thing.
She's like, "Oh, thank God I don't have to pretend."
These guys, it's like this cool civilization. You get that one shot where it's like little paper cutouts with filament on them, like zipping through like tubes, and like you get that one city shot, and it's so bootleg, but it's really charming too at the same time.
It looks dope.
Yeah, it's cool, but I feel like this whole world is like only just 8 people.
That's that. Yeah, it is kind of weird because at times you feel the scope of it, but then then you immediately don't, because it becomes, you know, really on this whole planet there's just these 4 people that are in charge of everything.
Nothing, there's no windows anywhere.
Well, they're underground.
Well, there's only like 3 rooms. You know, it doesn't seem like a lot of people. They try in certain areas because they kind of all of a sudden, the Council of People kind of reminded me of like the reverse of Superman's story, because it's like if Superman's dad was wrong and he was just a jerk.
Oh yeah,
you know, with the like council.
Yeah,
because they're all wearing these like cloak capes that are red, and they all have like a symbol on their like crest. They're very like Superman-y looking, like Kryptonian, and then instantly, like within like an hour, they make clothes for our Earth people that we've been following. And I love that on theirs they had the little symbol of all this embroidered like of the rocket ship they came in, and I was like, okay, that's kind of cool, but at the same time they're sitting in like folding chairs and shit.
Well, that's what I mean. The sort of the scientific what do you call it? I had the word and then it was gone. But yeah, there's a little bit of a disconnect between like what they're capable of doing and not at all capable. Like
exactly.
Like we built this huge city underground. We have food processing machines. We have but we just haven't figured out how to send a damn radio signal out using these. You know, it's like, what?
No, it's a charming movie, but you have to be really willing to ride with it in its shortcomings, because I would say there's some good. It was kind of like almost a precursor to like an episode of Star Trek.
Oh sure, yeah.
Because I kind of think I think Cameron Mitchell could have been a good, not Kirk, but Captain.
Yeah, I thought that while I was watching it.
Because he's so good in weird, small ways. He's got that Donald Pleasance charm where he's like, there's parts where he's like, if you just watch him, he's really glancing at all the actors as they're speaking, and he's like doing stuff like twirling a pencil, and he's kind of got a smoothness of Shatner in a sense that, because he's kind of hammy, but not really.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy went on to do
everything,
so much crazy work.
He's up there in the didn't say no or never say no, never said no Hall of Fame with like Klaus Kinski and Eric Roberts. Like, these are the people that if you wanted them in your movie, you could get them. Hey, I'll fill your gas tank up if you drive out here for the afternoon. All right. Okay, you're starring in the movie now. We'll get all your footage done in an hour. You know, he's made a few of those movies where you had that dude for one day on one set and shot all his stuff, and he's the star of your movie. So.
And reportedly, and this movie was actually shot in 5 days. At least the principal acting, and overall with the from conception to finish, it was like within from starting that movie, filming, to the production, the effects and everything, to finish and in theaters was 6 weeks. So it was a month and a half later that they had this movie in theaters. They shot and made this entire movie now they had some help because they pretty much borrowed scenes from Rocket Ship XM and used the sets and used the image, and they got all the costumes from Destination Moon for their moon men. So they had help. And like I said, folding chairs. So it's a real quickie of a movie.
And just so you know, they still make movies like that today. Trust me, there's a lot you don't know that may sound weird to us now, but it's not. It's still going on all the time. Hey, can we borrow that? Can we borrow that? We just made 3 new movies out of your old props. You know, it happens, folks.
No, all the time. But Cameron Mitchell, he actually served as a bombardier in World War II, and he went on to this huge film career, like we've been talking. But first, just some of the more like, okay, this is where he really became a name, and he, you know, before he started saying no, when he had like his Hollywood run, he was the voice of Jesus in The Robe from 1953. And he created the role of Happy Loman in Arthur Miller's Death of a Salesman. And he also played it in the movie. And because he knew Arthur Miller, he's who introduced Marilyn Monroe, because he met Marilyn Monroe and became friends with her and introduced her to Arthur Miller, who actually, he ended up marrying her. But Cameron Mitchell, he was like this guy who, I mean, he ended up going into so many horror movies. Like, that was like his huge career in the 80s and stuff. He just was in everything like that. He would do westerns, he would do everything. And then he did Blood and Black Lace with Mario Bava, and then like right after that, a few years later, did Toolbox Murderers. And he's really good in Toolbox Murderers, where he and his son, played by Wesley Uhr,
Do you want to be dinosaur stew?
are the killers in it that have the girl kidnapped. And I mean, this is like where Cameron Mitchell's really hamming it up.
That's a nasty movie.
He actually was in a hardcore porn film called Murder Baby. Yep. And he's playing a lieutenant, and he didn't know it was a sex film until after his scenes were shot. So they didn't tell him, and he didn't know he was in a porn. Yeah. But I guess he's in a porn out there. What I grew up knowing him from was he plays the host, which is the guy who runs the video store in the video shop of the gore mixtape movie Terror on Tape.
That's right.
Which is amazing.
Terror on Tape.
He's from Terror on Tape. But think about this. Look at these are just some names of movies. If you're scrolling through, even just names, they're great names on your resume after that. So he's in Night Train to Terror.
Yep.
Mutant War, Memorial Valley Massacre, Mission Kill, Action USA, that's great, a movie called Easy Kill, Demon Cop, Deadly Prey, From a Whisper to a Scream, and he's also in My Favorite Year, Raw Force, Frankenstein Island, Without Warning, and then this movie, Viva Knievel.
Yep.
Now, when I found this out, I almost passed out. Because, first of all, it's an Evel Knievel movie. Starring Evel Knievel. But if you look at the cast that's in this Evel Knievel movie, it's Gene Kelly, Lauren Hutton, Leslie Nielsen, Dabney Coleman, and, get ready, Marjo
Gordner.
And all across the nation for the past 4 years, the little preacher has been going up and down, winning lost humanity with the message of the Master. At this time, let me introduce to you little Marjo.
Howdy, neighbors. May the Lord bless you.
So,
We love Marjo.
Thank you, Cameron Mitchell, for leading me down this path to finding this movie.
You know what my favorite, well, it's not my favorite, but one of my favorites of his, it's not his movie, but he starred in it, was Island of the Fishmen, which is also known as Screamers here in America. And that is an insane movie. And I don't know, if I were Cameron Mitchell, I think I'd be buried in a coffin with that poster on it.
He's got a lot of choices. That guy was reliable, man.
Flood. He did some TV movies. I've seen a couple recently. A couple of his TV movies. One was Flood, the disaster film with Roger Moore.
Oh boy. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a Irwin Allen movie. He was, of course, in Irwin Allen's The Swarm. But I actually discovered a very strange made for TV movie directed by Ann Spielberg. No, it was 4 directors accredited on it. It's Ann Spielberg, Alan Sandler, Robert Emenegger, and Ken Levette. Produced by Ann Spielberg and those other people. So this was actually what you would call a regional film. Very much shot in someone's backyard on the cheap. Kind of like what's his name does, Don Dohler. It's kind of a Don Dohler movie. It's about the same production value. It's called Captive, and it came out in 1980. And it's about these 2 aliens that crash land on Earth, but they're at war with a planet that's protecting Earth, so they hate Earthlings. And Cameron Mitchell is the asshole alien that just wants to kill. And then his buddy alien that he's with is played by David Ladd, and he's like he's the commander who's real serious at first. We got to take these Earthlings hostage, but then he softens and starts, but Cameron Mitchell's dedicated to the hatred, so it becomes this. But it's all shot on someone's farm in a, and it's a TV movie. It's actually kind of charming. So if you want to,
if it's got Cameron Mitchell, I think it's a seal of approval kind of guy.
Yeah, I think this might be the most bottom of the barrel, not bottom of the barrel, but like lost of the lost Cameron Mitchell films, if you know what I mean. Like, it's buried way at the bottom of the hidden gems and the hidden, rarities, if you will. So good luck finding it. But if you do, Steven Spielberg's sister directed part of it.
Sweet.
Which is weird because no other Spielbergs helped. So I think she was like, No,
that was her jam.
This one's mine.
Yeah.
You know who I want to talk about, Rick? Morris Ankrum.
Is that what you're...
Yeah,
okay.
He played
Let's
Icron.
Talk about him.
Tell me...
Icron. He's an icon.
Drop the Icron knowledge on me.
He's an icon as Icron.
Yeah, he's iconic.
He's iconic.
Drop the Icron knowledge on me, Rick. Let's hear it.
Yeah, so Morris Ankrum, he plays Icron. He's already made an appearance on the show. Fans of the show will remember him as Rocket Ship XM. He's the guy getting the message back at home base. He's the Tom Skerritt.
Yeah.
The Ed Harris. Back at home base. Yeah, getting his job was to look concerned. He shows up in a lot more movies to come. Like, he's got a very prominent part, so we'll go more into him when we get to a movie that features him, I think, a little more heavily. Yeah, like Earth versus the Flying Saucer. But he did a lot of like movies like Man with the X-Ray Eyes, The Adventures of Jim Bowie. I don't know what it's about. Yeah, Dave's brother Jim.
No, it's about the guy who invented the knife.
Is that Jim?
Yeah,
Bowie.
You savage.
Okay. Hey, I don't know that.
You don't know the story of the Alamo?
No.
I watched the John Wayne movie.
I watched the Disney version
of the Alamo.
Okay, Nate, I know that it doesn't have a basement.
Disney's The Alamo.
In the tradition of Frozen, Toy Story, and Saving Private Ryan comes a heartwarming new film from Disney, The Alamo, an epic tale of heroism and bravery. With bloodshed so brutal and graphic, it will make Mel Gibson and Tom Savini puke in each other's mouths. Featuring the voices of Cameron Mitchell.
How many tears do you think it'll take to wash out 3 years?
Eric Roberts.
Charlie! They took my soul!
J.D. Vance.
Are you a racist? Do you hate Mexicans?
And RuPaul as Pastor Jebediah Smith.
If you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else?
With 5 new songs from Randy Newman that your family will cherish for generations to come. This summer, relive the adventure and savor the carnage. With Disney's The Alamo. In IMAX 3D, rated NC-17, children not admitted.
Can I get an amen?
Yeah, is there a Disney Alamo? I don't know. Okay.
Like one of the bloodiest conflicts in our country before the Civil War.
Okay, but you know what? There might have been something of a... I don't know.
They tore out their victims' hearts while...
Maybe I'm thinking Davy Crockett. I don't know.
Davy Crockett died a horrible, horrible death at Alamo.
Okay. Anyway, you know what? We're only like, 12, including double features, we're only about 14 movies in through the 50s, and we already have these people making guest, like, reappearances, like Arthur Franz, because he is the other half of the love triangle on the ship. He's like the captain, the guy, engineer or whatever. And he's played by the guy who played Tommy Nelson in Abbott and Costello's Invisible Man. Tommy Nelson. Yep. So, I mean, that's with everything in this movie. I think it's not bad. It just doesn't have anything really. I think the first half is weirdly a little, maybe not better, but it seems it kind of seems abrupt. It kind of goes into like Flash Gordon-y abrupt, but yet at the same time, the first half is kind of like really lame too. So it's like I kind of wish that it leaned more into one way or the other.
Explain.
Like, because it's tonally, it's like either, okay, you know what it is? I wish the people on the Martians, I guess they are. Yeah,
they're the Martians.
Yeah. I kind of just wish there was more to their plan. Like, because it kind of feels like Black Hole, kind of, too, where anytime, like, a crew lands on, and they're like now on the run from the ship and whoever it's Planet of the Apes stuff, whatever. It's
Saturn 3.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
Is it? That's not really. That's an Android thing.
Yeah, because Harvey Keitel doesn't like him,
that.
so he sicks his Android on him.
It's been a while.
Man.
I don't know. I want to say that I like it, but because it is very charming. It could have been better. Give it maybe another $100 or something,
All right, well, before I get into my personal feelings on the film, I do want to say I had to look it up because they keep telling the Earth people that they use corium to power their planet. And then, of course, it finds out that's why they want to go to Earth, because there's lots of corium, and they need to harvest it because they're running out of it, the corium. Okay? Mm-hmm. So, I was curious, like, is that a real thing, or is that, like, James Cameron unobtainium can't find it?
But no, unobtainium is a real thing,
I know, I'm
too.
still going to make fun of it.
I know, it's stupid.
But, no, corium is a real thing, but it's not an element. It's actually a natural sort of lava-made cup that stores nuclear waste in it as it melts So as you use nuclear...
Oh, weird.
The nuclear power to melt rock, the rock forms lava. the lava creates a capsule that stores the radioactivity in it. So it is a thing, but it's not an element. So basically, even though they used a real...
Did they just take a word?
They just took a word that for some... Which maybe by that point they might not have even known about that kind of stuff. I don't know. No, it's after Oppenheimer's experiment, so maybe they did. I don't know.
I'm not a smart man.
People out there listening, if you know, let me know. I like it. Like it's very cheap. It is a very cheaply made movie.
It's real cheap,
and
but it's fun.
Yeah, and it's kind of it's either because of the way the set design is, the costumes, like the sexy Martian girl skirts, and which actually
Gene Roddenberry a rumor is that it inspired Gene Roddenberry
for Star Trek. I'm not surprised at all.
That's why I'm saying it kind of, it has a precursor to, and the movie's only like, I don't know, is it like
70? It's like 71 minutes long.
Yeah, so it's like a little bit longer episode of Star Trek. So I kind of dig it.
So yeah, I mean, you get the sexy Martian costumes. If you're into that era, that's sexy.
On the one or two people we meet.
Yeah,
I swear she's the only woman we meet, I think.
In the matte paintings they use, or whatever they used for the backgrounds on Mars and beneath Mars, I think are just fun. Like they're kind of like, they're cool in your brain when you think of movies like this without focusing on any one in particular. It's kind of, this is kind of what you visualize in your head that it'll look like. So they were probably even aware of all the tropes and they just went with them, and because of that, it's just got a charm that it promises nothing more than what it's capable of delivering. Even the poster's kind of simple. You can't fuck that up. A rocket flying toward... There's no way to screw up that poster. You know what I mean? But it's just exciting enough, but also just bland enough to walk the middle ground and kind of let you decide how you want to take it all, I guess.
I mean, it's not quite Destination Moon. But I will say it's reaching for there, and it's heading in that direction, but it just doesn't quite do as much with it. It tries to get like espionage-y there for a bit because of like plans against each other to try and trick them into so they can escape and all this, and of course the main guy who meets Alita, he's known her for like an hour, and now they're in love.
Yeah, well, of course.
Like she's gonna follow him back because it's kind of like not everyone agrees with Ikron.
You still object to my plan?
To destroy these people and all the people on the world as well? Yes, I do.
We will build others from the same design. A fleet of them, 100 fleets.
And when we finish with the ruins of their world, what then? A plan to conquer the universe? More rocket ships? Where is the end of it?
I seek only the sanctuary of a place to live for our people. Our planet is dying. The corium will be gone. What plan do you suggest to save ourselves?
That we make a pact with them for certain areas of the Earth.
The people who have come here have no power or authority to make pacts. Once we let them escape, once their ship is gone, it may well be our last chance for survival.
Surely they'll make other trips.
What if they return in power and force and conquer us? They will kill us.
Well, and see, that's what I really dig about it. I have a soft spot for any movie that features a plot where either where an authoritarian regime is overthrown by the people, like Equilibrium and stuff. I'm a sucker for that and will love it every time. But there's also a part of me just below that of any people, and this may go back to Temple of Doom, but it's anytime someone breaks out of their sort of conditioning of what they're supposed to do, and then kind of now decides to fight for good.
But there can be no doubt about it. I heard it myself.
Why does he act this way? I took it for granted that we'd show him everything we know.
From what Alita reports, he plans to let you complete your work
and then at the last minute take it away from you. My advice to you is to leave before he realizes that you're ready to take off.
But we can't. We let it be known only this morning that we plan to take off in a month.
But you could be ready in 2 weeks, couldn't you?
Oh, it's useless. He has spies everywhere that know every step of our progress.
Jim, I think I know something we can do.
Some people who blindly believed their leader and then found out he was lying and decide to, we're going to do the right thing. I'm a sucker for those kind of movies too, Yeah. Any of those whistleblower movies or, oh my God, I finally figured out what this guy really plans to do and you can save yourself. And you're like, oh, right, redemption arc. That kind of thing. So I appreciate all that because that just gets fun where it's like, fuck the police. We're getting out of here.
Yeah.
And, it just makes you feel good because all the good people blast off and they're like, now that you're coming back with us, we'll tell people the true Martian spirit of peace. And, they make it out to be like, thank God we got the good Martian to come back to Earth with us. We'll usher in this era of...
Because nothing could go wrong here.
So you just kind of, at the end of the movie, you're just kind of like, yeah, all right.
But it's also one of those where they just end it, where they blast off, and we don't really know if they ever make it back to Earth. It just kind of ends. Yeah. The end is them getting away from that planet. So other than that, it's like, hopefully they make it home.
Yeah.
Guess we don't know, but at least it's like black hole. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like black hole.
I didn't even notice that until you brought it up.
It's like at least they're going to a better place. Yeah. We don't know where that is, but they're getting away.
Yeah. So the whole romantic subplot. You know me. Fuck that. I
found it interesting just because it gave Cameron Mitchell stuff to do. I guess because he kind of, she's playing. That's the weird thing about this plot is none of this is a healthy relationship.
No, but they're both into it.
That's what I'm saying. It's like she's doing a number on him. He's constantly like egging her on and like calling her out on bullshit.
It's almost like when they get back to Earth, you expect, secretary. You're just like, oh yeah, you wait till we get back to my office. Next thing you know, she's dangling carrots out of her mouth and walking on all fours. And I stand corrected. You're right. That aspect of it is actually different.
It's not bad.
I'm at the point of this now where I've seen it so many times, and this may have been the first time I watched it where I actually focused on it to really talk about it, because otherwise I could have just told you what happened. Oh, it's fun, they do this and that, but now I was really paying attention to the minutia, and I just think in a weird way it's kind of a perfect example of the B side. I'm not talking about the C side, but the B. There's levels lower than B movie in this genre.
Yeah.
But this is kind of like the perfect lower B average science fiction quickie that
you would get after something else.
Yeah, like this is just kind of the template of what we'll see later on with several similar movies like this, where this I'm not saying it's the first one of its type, but I don't know. There's just something about this one that really kind of sets off what's to come.
It weirdly works.
Yeah, it weirdly works.
And I can't explain why, but it does,
And for even though the characters are all so bland for the most part, you're still kind of like...
I think it's the TV show aspect of it. It feels like an episode of a television show. So therefore, it's kind of... there's no real... I would say for as much of the inner... workings of their relationship and plot and all the talking they do in that movie, I'm almost kind of surprised how little of fat there is on it, even if the dialogue is kind of ludicrous, because that's another thing. It's kind of amazing when you have to look at it and realize they shot this in 5 days, so most of the dialogue takes are one takes of a big paragraphs. And man, Cameron Mitchell just nails it. One of the other guys, the older scientist, not so much. There's a real funny part where he's delivering something and he's looking like everywhere but his eye line. He's glancing at every cue card he has around him to get through that piece of dialogue.
My favorite Cameron Mitchell thing, though, is how there's just something in him that gets real broody when they're on the ship. And it's before the meteorites crash, but there's this great line when he's just staring out the porthole as Earth's shrinking in the distance.
Oh, the Earth seems so big when you're on it. And from out here, so small and nothing. It's like closing your eyes in the dark. Suddenly there you are, alone with your soul.
You're homesick, Steve.
No, Professor, I haven't got a home. Sometimes I wonder who I am. Who any of us are.
There was once a theory advanced that the universe is a living giant being, and that we, as human beings, made in its image, are miniature universes in ourselves, containing millions of corpuscles. The components of each corpuscle imagine themselves to be in a complete world of their own, though they are aware of the universe of other worlds around them.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Is it? I wonder. We understand so very little, really. If space is limitless and endless, then don't you see, the opposite must be true too. Smallness never ends either, but continues being tinier and tinier, just as the enormity of the universe becomes more and more enormous.
Doctor, you're giving me the creeps.
It's kind of like, I hate to go back to Star Trek, but it's what I use as the reason what I don't get from Star Trek now that I want is the line from Star Trek 3 when Sarek goes to Kirk and says, because he brought Spock back, and he says, he's like, Kirk, what you did, and Kirk cuts him off. He goes, what I did, I had to do. And he goes, and Sarek says, but at what cost? Your ship, your son. And Shatner says, or Kirk says, if I hadn't tried, the cost would have been my soul. And I was like, man, that's what's not in Star Trek anymore right now. I want that.
I don't care if the kids nowadays call that hokey or cheesy.
No, that
I love it.
Hits you.
Overdone dramatic sincerity is just, when done well, can work.
It's what grabs you by the boom boom.
Yeah, no. So it's because of just Cameron Mitchell and just the whole kind of cool but silly look of it, and the whole plot just kind of put a smile on my face. And I imagine as a kid I would have loved it. And it's kind of like, for me, like, obviously I'm going to go and see Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, and nothing's going to top that. But man, a couple years later, King Solomon's Mines, no, it kind of hit the spot. It's never going to be as good, but you know what? That's fine. Because, and that's kind of how I feel about this compared to some of the better movies. Like, it's no Day the Earth Stood Still or War of the Worlds, but I don't know, man. It kind of scratches that itch.
It fits in real good with it is the fly of a movie as far as like the two movies that got in the telepod together, which is Destination Moon and Rocket Ship XM. It fits real nicely with those as a triple feature,
And plus Tristram Coffin.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Well, how many stars do you give it, Rick?
I thought about this, and I give it a solid 3 stars. I know that seems like a little less than, but no, I give it a good solid 3 though.
Likewise, as do I. Actually, I have you matched on this because I think it's a perfectly solid 3-star movie for what it is.
It's pretty good, and none of the acting is really that bad. It's simple. It's a good fun hour.
So there you go. once again, I think we've done it twice so far where we're in agreement on the stars. So, well, let's see what other people think. Based on these websites here that do aggregations of viewer and critic ratings, this is what we have as terms of Flight to Mars. So on Letterboxd, it currently stands at a 2.9, and that's based on only 421 ratings. So only 421 people on Letterboxd have rated the movie. So get on it, people. Watch it. Boost that 2.9 up. It at least belongs closer to like 3.5 or 4. So come on.
Yeah.
Whatever, man. Okay, now on IMDb, it stands at a 5.1 out of 10. And that's based on 1.4 thousand user ratings. So, about average there. And then on Rotten Tomatoes, there's of course no critic rating because critics as a thing weren't really a thing. It does carry an audience rating of only 22% out of 500 plus ratings. So all works out to maybe about an average movie for most people. I don't know.
Okay.
I think we liked it a little bit more than most people is what I'm trying to say.
That's fine.
Okay. Awards for Flight to Mars. What do you think? You want to take a guess, Rick? How many awards was this nominated for, or how many did it win?
8 nominations, won 3.
8 nominations, won 3?
That's what I'm guessing. You said to guess.
How many nominations?
Nothing. No, they didn't win anything.
What did you think?
I said 8 nominations and won 3 awards.
Won 3. I thought you said won 3 as in 13. Never mind.
Oh, okay. No. 8 nominations and won 3.
It didn't get anything at all. So it's an awardsless, meritless film that is pretty average for most people. So yeah. Sorry, Flight to Mars. I don't know. I don't know if I would have given you one either. But anyway, we did at one point have a planned sequel for this movie called Voyage to Venus, but it was never made. So
that's too bad.
Maybe this wasn't successful enough, or
like would the same people just go to, like, maybe they continued right out after that, like Planet of the Apes. They never got to Earth. They ended up crashing on Venus.
They totally miss Earth or something.
They go a whole different direction.
Yeah, it might have been cool. There's no information on what it was going to be. So
for some reason, Alita's not there anymore.
So they find the Queen of Venus, and it's her sister. And it turns out Venus and Mars used to be closer together, and they somehow got separated by their evil families.
No, I'm saying they drop her completely, and we don't know anything of what happened to her, and they're on to a different plot.
It's fine. Hell, do the Little Shop of Horrors thing and
I'd watch it.
Do a musical.
Venus to Mars?
Voyage to Venus.
Oh, a Venus to Mars.
This could have been a music like Bob Hope with a ukulele.
Well, they did make Voyage to the Rock Aliens.
That's
true.
That's
a musical.
So that's all we've got about Flight to Mars. Do we want to know? I'm sure you do. So I'm going to tell you that if you do care to watch this movie, it is currently available to stream, rent, or buy on FlixFling. And FlixFling. And it is, there is a special edition DVD of it available through Amazon Prime. And it looks like there's a VHS tape of it available for almost $75. So if you want that, but yeah, it looks like you can get it on DVD if you want still. All right, well there we go. That's pretty much all there is for us to say. Flight to Mars. We both kind of liked it, so just check it out, man. Form your own opinion. Let's wrap things up, but before we do that, would you like to hear some listener feedback?
I would, actually.
We got a message. Okay. It's pretty long.
Excited.
Okay. Let me see here. I'm gonna open this up so I can read it for you better. Here we go. Transmission from Jimmy Jim Jim from the USS Blast Points, beamed over from a neighboring far, far away space fantasy galaxy that's forever in the late 1970s. Okay. That's the setup. Okay. I like it so far. We're in good company here.
Yeah.
I wish it had been in the 50s, but 70s is okay. Greetings, crew of the Lexaproteus-IV. This is your old friend and loyal listener, Jimmy Jim Jim. Just thought I'd write and share how last night I had a dream. I dreamt I was as light as the ether, a floating spirit visiting things to come. The shades and shadows of the people in my life wrestled their way into my slumber. I dreamt that Rick and Ryan had decided to read poetry by Aquafina, but it couldn't make it to deep space where they reside. Probably that's just as well. They're a swell couple of guys, but maybe that poetry weren't ready yet to come out into the universe again. And then I dreamed on into the future to a Christmas morn, and the good children was opening presents from a kindly couple who preferred to remain unknown. It was a DVD of Robert Wise's film Rooftops. All right. Yeah, we got a Rooftops fan.
Yeah.
And still I dreamt on, further into the future than I'd ever dreamed before, watching the Computer Wore Tennis Shoes trilogy from afar on Plex. I don't know what he's talking about. What is Plex?
That's a new up and coming operating system.
For like Apple. Okay.
Yeah.
So
sure.
Watching the Computer Wore Tennis Shoes trilogy from afar on Plex, taking pride in Kurt Russell's accomplishments. And I don't know. You tell me. This whole dream, was it wishful thinking? Was I just fleeing reality like I know I'm liable to? And it seemed real. It seemed like us. And it seemed like, well, our home. If not the USS Blast Points, then a planet not too far, far away, where all parents are strong and wise and capable, and all children are happy and beloved. I don't know. Maybe it was Utah. Love the show, guys. Keep it going. So thank you, Jimmy Jim Jim, from the USS Blast Points. Yeah, we, the truth is, maybe it was Utah. And I think that's kind of sums up where we're all at in life. You know? Is that maybe whatever it was that was troubling you, or is still tribulating your troubles.
Tribulating your troubles?
Maybe it was Utah. That's like, it's just Chinatown, Jim. You know? In other words, what I'm trying to tell you, Jimmy Jim Jim, I don't think it's even worth worrying about. So just get on by with those dreams and enjoy them for what they are. And we'll be here for you anytime you want to share your thoughts, you're reminiscing about Rooftops, and long live and prosper, and may the force be with you, brother. We're going to bid adieu to all the listeners out there in podcast land,
I guess.
And hope you enjoyed this episode. Hold on, one more thing. If, like Jimmy Jim Jim, you would like to share your thoughts with us, you can just email us directly at theunidentifiedflyingpodcast@gmail.com. So, feel free to reach out to us and wax poetic like Jimmy Jim Jim, or whatever it is you feel like doing. That's your way to do it. So,
what a nice little nap. Hello, robot. Hello, object dot. Hello, space probe. Hello, Earth. Hey, hello, what? If that's the Earth, where the cotton-picking heck am I?
You are on Mars. Isn't that lovely?
Mars? You mean the planet Mars?
Yes, I brought you here from the planet Earth. in my unidentified flying object.
Okay, Shorty, and you can just brought me back to Earth a meteor mo.